Hi, sexy. Come and watch till the end. 3 women and their families devastate Kansas one night when cops arrest them. Nina Brewster and her sons, Jackie Truman and Bob Truman. Bridget and Don Cardigan. Bridget puts money in a bag as Don shreds bills down the toilet. Flees into the backyard, distracting the guards with meat from the fridge. Neighbors dog to her vehicle securely. 3 years ago, Bridget attended Mandy's party. And Bryce Arbogast, whom she has not seen because she does not attend the club since Don's layoff. Bridget hears via Mindy that her husband is selling their home, so she hurries, returns and fights him over it. Don says they are in debt, and he cannot get a job of his age, and Bridget grows upset with him for not telling her to cut costs. She resolves to find a solution because he won't, her own job. It is tough. Bridget studied comparative literature and was a homemaker for much of her life. And her age and computing skills are restricted. Bridget searches newspaper advertisements after failing at a job interview. No avail. Her house cleaner complains to her one day about her paycheck. Bounced again. Since Bridget cannot pay her, she gives her the number of a job-providing place she knows. Bridget becomes a Federal Reserve Bank janitor. She meets her new employer, Glover, while touring the neighborhood, who promises her Nina, the $1 bill shredder operator, is always monitored. Her access to all the money chambers impresses her. How many old, worn-out banknotes are thrown away daily? After work, she refuses to discuss her day with Don. Too exhausted to, she must attend the home center when the kitchen tap breaks. Bridget notices all the things, particularly the padlocks, and slowly starts buying them to plot Reserve Bank theft. The following day, she checked every camera en route. Cash cards. Only 3 keys may unlock it. 1 in the sorting room, 1 in the office, and 1 in the garage. Is kept by an agent in the inspection room, and the final one is shredded. She also checks staff morality by asking whether they would retain a banknote discovered on the floor. Ground, but everyone has been too polite and untrustworthy. Jackie's cart route and her airheadedness due to it. Loses herself in music, but Bridget notices. Security checks all employees' baggage at night. Ari Cobb and Nina's stalker Sean. After rejecting him again, Bridget approaches her as she departs. Her insane offer. Nina believes she is a mole recruited by the higher-ups, but she is not. She rejects her offer and returns home. Kids. Bridget follows her, calling her first, and then coming to her door to persuade her to join her. Nina always rejects her and sends her away, just to contemplate changing her mind the following day when she sees all the flyers Bridget left for her in her locker, showing her the excellent schools she could send her kids to if she had the money. Nina eventually joins Bridget in the restroom around midday. Her after threatening her things go wrong since she is a single mother and cannot lose them. They approach Jackie since they only need 1 worker in the parking lot and see her syringe. They ask Jackie to drink with them at Bridget's buddy Junior's pub, who chastises them for discussing unlawful plans openly. Jackie joins the squad without hesitation. Jackie is really upset when Nina and Bridget beg her to leave her addiction. Moved by this kindness, she does not bring up her diabetic syringe injections. They also agree on a secret signal to strike. A touch. Their brows. Bridget concealed the padlock under her belt the following day. The guards will assume the buckle triggered the metal detector. Bridget and Nina exchange unique gestures over lunch, but Jackie ignores them. Shakes head. Jackie confesses in the bathroom. She felt horrible. Bridget and Nina find the proposal ludicrous and want Jackie out of the squad, but hours later, when Glover does a thorough random security search, they eat their words. They succeed the next day. The 3 gesture and quietly agree to commence the strategy with inspecting Bridget. She pretends to clean the cash boxes and discovers one open for examination, placing her body between it and the camera to conceal her changing the bank lock for she purchased. She walks down the corridor and meets Jackie, who tells her the number. Selected boxed and writes it on a paper she leaves with the genuine padlock. Nina's bathroom trash can. Jackie moves cash trolleys throughout the premises next. She chooses Bridget's and positions herself while waiting for the elevator between the cart and the camera and unlocks the padlock to steal money and conceal while pretending to dance. Nina puts the genuine padlock back as she takes the cart to the shredder room. Bridget hides the money in her cleaning supplies after her trash can rounds. Products. Later, the three ladies split the money in the restroom. Clothes. Bridget and Nina passed the test, but they are anxious about Jackie's trousers with bills. Nina flirts with Barry to prolong the line, but tensions rise when Glover seemed irritated. Luckily, he merely wants to chastise Bridget for losing her entry card. Jackie double-checks, ultimately burying the money in her trousers. The three ladies share the money at Bridget's place. In celebration, Don discovers them this way and is upset to learn his wife is a crook. He wants Bridget to stop, but she says their little plot will be repeated until their debts are paid. Bridget and Don go to their school, while Nina enrolls her kids in a prestigious one. Bank to deposit some money, usually under $9,000, to avoid reporting it to IRS. Don's still irritated by crime, but he is pleased by Bridget's cleverness. They make out in the vehicle. Three ladies have been robbing the bank for months. No matter how much Glover follows workers, they always pass control easily. Bridget regains her home, and Nina may keep her kids in the luxury school with all the extras. 6 months later, Don and Bob join them for a beautiful supper restaurant where people celebrate paying off their debts and getting ahead every need. Bridget wants to continue. Bridget addresses Don and Nina, who disagree with Jackie and Bob. Being mistreated by their superiors, Don's firing after years of service. Nina should have money for her kids' college, and Jackie should vacation, planet, and most crucially, financial security. Nina agrees to continue, but only if they do not make any mistakes. Huge purchases to avoid notice. Once they have enough money, they may go someplace where nobody knows them. Their apparent wealth. Bridget does not like it, but she must accept it since she cannot continue stealing without Nina. Bridget soon betrays her word and buys an extravagant ring for her. She is caught by Nina in the work restroom, who removes Bridget's bra glove, discovering her ring. Nina dumps the ring down the toilet after breaking her promise, before reminding Bridget. In the same restroom a few days later, Nina paces while toying with the door key, worrying about her companion being late. Bridget tosses the lock bag at her quickly as she comes, and she catches it. Nina accidentally drops the key in the sink drain. Bridget may not return to the ground level to ask Jackie for the other key since breaking her regular path seems odd, and she does not have Jackie's number. Thus, she phones her husband from the restroom as Nina returns to her workstation. She is gone. Don visits Bob at work to make him call Jackie. Bob's supervisor finds him using his phone instead of working, and Bob refuses to go back. He loses his job. Don takes a while to inform Bridget that Jackie will depart. The key, so Glover thinks her toilet time is strange, confronts her. Bridget avoids difficulty by seeming outraged at the bank's behavior. Employees trash the restroom and shout hysterically. Deters Glover. Jackie carefully conceals the key in her chewed bubblegum at the elevator doors. Mount it. She is offended as two guys enter the elevator, by them and furiously tosses bubblegum at their heads. The guys avoid it and stick the gum with the key to the elevator wall, to Bridget's floor for retrieval. Nina cannot unlock the cart padlock without the key. Barry helps her when the lock gets stuck and is astonished when, luckily, Bridget comes right away. While Barry is preoccupied, she tosses the key at Nina, who ultimately unlocks it. She grins at Barry, telling him she has solved the issue, but he can't. It's easy to see that the genuine key is hanging in its customary location. Bridget tells Don, who is with Bob, that everything is good. Bob does not care that Don caused his job loss. Disliked it. Because he is missing his own, Don finds this fascinating. Barry informs Nina that he knows what is happening in the parking lot after work. He only wants Nina to tell her team it is finished before he goes. Junior gives the three ladies a shot to discuss the issue. They assume they can use Barry's interest in Nina, however, Nina will not do it for cash. She wants Barry on the squad, but the other two insist on date suggestion. Nina swears she would choose appropriately. Nina dresses up and visits Barry at his flat, unaware that he lives alone. She says the money can get him everything he wants, and she will go for it. She also asks Barry out, but he declines. Bridget confronts him in the restroom the following day because she does not like his decisions. Later, Bridget tells her friends that Barry has accepted. Join the squad, but not with the date since Nina is worth it. Beyond that, They split the money with him at Bridget's later that night, and he is working today. He may inform them of unexpected inspections. Nina apologizes to Barry for asking for money before departing. Both say they like each other without a transaction. They make out in Bridget's closet. Bridget is bored with not using the money. Don, who misses his administrator position, joins the squad to keep Bridget, to help them mislead about their employment and earn more money than they are. Nina will make up a lover who travels and brings her presents. Bob will declare he is day trading online, and Barry will claim his mom received a hefty insurance payout. Settlement. Don will pretend he is doing freelance consulting. They then steal and squander the money. Jackie and Bob buy bikes, electronic guitars, and a larger camper. Nina moves from her little cottage to a huge suburban one, and Bridget and Don renovate their house. Plus loads of clothing and shoes. The only problem is hiding so much money. Bridget hosts a party 3 years after their first theft. Observes a stranger. When her spouse announces a new job, she forgets him. Nina displays her engagement ring. The next day, Glover shows that same person to the bank. The money route cash cart Jackie was meant to deliver with him. She informs the crew in the restroom of this usual adjustment. She feels awful about this too. They resolve to be calm and study more before making choices, but Bridget can't help freaking out as she keeps working and sees the dude is the same, her party guests. In his office, Federal Bank Examiner Mandelbrot encounters Glover on staff is stealing bank money. Glover is proud of the bank's security and will not let anyone in. Could have robbed him. He expelled Mandelbrot until he provided evidence. Don discovers Mandelbrot's visit to Bridget's village to interrogate the neighbors. He is an examiner and encourages his wife to contact a lawyer and give themselves up, but Bridget refuses. Resists because the law would remove Nina's kids. The three spouses come together as their houses are monitored. Discuss next steps. Bridget believes they should arrest them because they have no evidence. Do nothing and appear normal while being frugal. Bob admits that taking the cover narrative may have been careless. Serious and began day trading. The IRS was notified because he invested over $10,000. What is going on? Bridget claims the police have no evidence, but Nina points out their concealed money. Holmes is evidence, so they all decide to burn it when they get home. Bridget's complaints. Before departing, Barry informs Nina that he understands how the police operate and that they only need one person. Speak to catch everyone, so she needs to strike a bargain swiftly to rescue her. Kids without anyone blaming her. The tale starts again. Jackie and Bob blow up their old camper with money inside and flee. Before leaving the region, Nina burns the cash. Barry puts the money in his vehicle. Bridget escapes when Dawn shreds the cash into the toilet. Enters her automobile, unaware that Mandelbrot is following. She bribes a hotel receptionist to remain under a false identity, would not need a credit card, and the following morning, when she eats breakfast at the hotel restaurant, Mandelbrot approaches. He asks for questions to satiate his curiosity, but Bridget recalls him, cannot arrest her and departs. The police question the rest of the squad. Don does not care that his wife left him. Bob will not speak without a lawyer. Nina gets a bargain for her kids. After a few hours, she accepts it, but the officer says no. Jackie's contract preempted her. She begged Nina to walk, not for her freedom, to see her relatives. Bridget begs her neighbors for a lawyer, Bryce. He does not perform a legal job, but seeing her wealth alters his mind. To offer. Bryce announces himself as the lawyer representing the two at the police station. All teammates. As Bridget previously said, the police have no evidence the money was taken. Even when Glover is brought in to interview him, he maintains that he is sure. Nobody could have plundered his bank in 3 years without alarm. The IRS has a case, but the police don't. Pay tax. They settle for freedom without fines or penalties. If they return all the money, which they do, they embrace before each pair leaves the station. 8 months later, the ladies meet at Junior's to discuss their progress, their life. Nina's honeymoon lasted 2 days, and the family lives in a modest apartment. But they are oak with 2 incomes. Jackie waitresses, and Bob got his work back, so they are saving to visit 5 years South America. Bridget discusses mad money, which means that ladies often hide some money before presenting their friends with large amounts of money. Surprise! She has been concealing money in Junior's deposit. Utilized to finally live their dream. The end. See you later, sexy.